Hey everyone, it's Bart with Extreme Para again. Here we have part 2 of our Monkey Fist lanyard project. What we're going to do in this part of the video is we're going to go through the tightening process of our Monkey Fist after we've taken it off the jig. One of the things I did was I took my lacing needle off the end of the cord. So now it's not on it, but one thing I do that kind of helps, you can do this if you want or not, is I'll put a loop in the end of the cord that was in the lacing needle so I know which cord is which, because right now that cord is actually going to be longer than 3 feet, and we want to work backwards towards the cord that we started with. So it's important to know which one is which, or at least in my opinion. So you can do that if you want. You don't have to. It's just something I do. It's up to you. So at this point, we're going to go through a tightening process. And we're going to do this by starting about in the middle and working towards the end. And what's important at this point is that we have all the cords laid out the way they're supposed to be. They're nice and flat, and it'll make our tightening process go a little easier. And keep in mind, we're going to do 3 tightening processes, 3 times. So you're not going to try to tighten it all at once. If you try to tighten it all at once, it's just going to fail. You're going to get it all bunched up, and it's just not going to look right. So anyway, from there, what we have is, this is where we started. This is our starting cord right here. So these are our 1s, and then these are our 2s, and these are our 3s, because the 3s are where the ending cord is. So we want to start with the 2s. So the 2s are these, and we want to work towards the end that we started with. So best place to start is right here, where you have this loop. What you want to do is just pull that a little bit until you just want it to snug, not tight. And then take your next one and tighten it up, and you're just going back and forth, right? And what's important at this point is getting all these cords to lay exactly where they need to be and be just slightly snug. Now, I usually can do this with my fingernails, but eventually we'll have to get the lacing needle out to help us pry inside. What's most important is to make sure that we keep the core in the center. If it starts to slip off one direction or another, we're going to get in trouble. And our monkey fist won't actually be even. So just keep working on that. Okay, so that was one part. I'm continually working these to make sure that they lay out the way they're supposed to. It's very important that they're always correct. Okay, so we want to work again towards this one. We're going to work our middle. If you're trying to figure out where you're at, you can always pull on one of the cords to see what it pulls against. That's how you can kind of find your way. As you get better at it, you'll actually know exactly where the cords are going. looks like we got a crossover in there. Let's see what happens. Remember, it's important that we don't tighten too much because we still have to be able to work the core and keep it in the center. Try to do too much on the first tightening, things will start to not lay out right. Trying to keep my hands out the way. I know it gets a little tough. Just remember, you just hold them in that pattern. You're just going back and forth. And really, when you get good at this tightening process goes pretty quick. Shouldn't be, extremely difficult on getting it done. You get better with it. Okay. So at this point, it's important to really make sure that everything is laying out around the center of the ball or the core. It's important. Alright, so now we're going to do really our second tightening process. We're going to snug things up a little bit more. At this point, you may need to get your lacing needle. To help pull the cords as you do them. Remember again, you don't want to pull them too tight because you still have to be able to work the cords, keep them centered around the core so that they don't get off center and look funny. Your monkey fist will be lopsided. So it's important. Also, when you go through your transitions like I'm going through here, it's important that you don't pull those really, really tight because they will sandwich your cord. I'll show you. Like if you look, if I pull that, that's about right where I want it. If I pull it too tight, it'll start to do that. That's not what we want. So you just want nice and flat. So I hope y'all can see this. It's not really difficult, it's just going round and round like any other tightening process. You just want to be consistent on how tight you make it when you pull those cords. That's the most important part, is that you're consistent on every pull as you go around, and then everything will stay in balance. Once again, we have another transition, so what we're going to do is make sure that we don't pull that too tight, that we keep it within check. Okay, at this point I'm going to have to get my lacing needle, or fid, whatever you have. It's hard for me to get in there with fingernails at this point. Just again, you want to make sure that that core stays centered. Your cords don't get too off. Okay. Alright, so this monkey fist is tight. I would suggest going through one more tightening process, but I'm not going to bore you with that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to set the video to fast forward so we can get towards the end and be done with it. At this point, though, it's really quick. Just doing small amounts. Alright, here we go. Okay, there we go. Nice, tight monkey fist. At this point, if you wanted to make it even tighter, you could stick it in water and you'd be good to go. Alright, well, I'm going to end this video here and create another video on how to actually finish this off. Okay, see you on the next one.